We go. I do believe we're live, so I'll say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution, another opportunity for us to consider the body. I, 2 days ago now, sustained some insect bites, which I at first thought were mosquitoes, or a mosquito biting me multiple times. And then the next day, that part of my skin was almost like rough, like tough, like it was thicker than it was supposed to be. I'm the first, yes, you are, Yam Yam, look at you. And then today, it went from being a spot this big to being a spot this big. You can probably see there's something going on here. I have a bag of ice against the thing. I'm having a hard time, yo. It's rough being a body sometimes. Being a human being, it's not easy. But it's not like I can re-roll, go into the going to the custom creation screen, right? Kind of adjust my character a little bit. This is kind of how it is. I've been feeling good for the most part, but I have been feeling a little bit frustrated again today. Especially with like this whole thing, my whole body fractal. Like I really dislike mosquitoes. Like really dislike. Like I have a deep-seated hatred for them, to be honest. I wish they would all spontaneously combust. Yeah, I'm just like getting so riled up. And like when I sustained all of those bites, I was like, these freaking mosquitoes. All right. And then the day after, it's like worse. And I'm like, these freaking mosquitoes. And now here we are. Our bodies are powerful. Our bodies can heal themselves. Yeah. Our bodies have the ability to survive harm, survive extreme conditions. And here we are today. Our bodies are resilient. Despite these challenges that we face as human beings, I don't see it as a reason to stop showing up. Hey, Shakira, it's nice having you, friend. How have you been? How's life been treating you? Anything interesting? Anything body related? That is what we're kind of talking today about. The fact that we have these bodies and they do things. I've been doing keto and I'm like doing well, all things considered. I have chicken pox, you see, Gaming Quest. That's some body stuff, yo. Jeez. I used to. I remember when I had chicken pox. I've been good. I'm happy to hear that, friend. Gaming Quest. When I had chicken pox, let me tell you a little bit of story. How about you? I'm fine for the most part. I'm healing. I'm recovering. I'm getting stronger every day. I had tonsil stones, but took meds. Tonsil stones too. Hi everybody. I have been the first. It's true, Yam Yam. You were first. Let everybody know. And now everybody does, right? You don't have to continue to let us know from this moment on forward. I want to explore a little bit in this air, but before I do, I'll tell you my chickenpox story, right? Like I was, I think, 9 years old when chickenpox was like sweeping through our little town here. And we're like a small town, so all of the kids are going basically to the same primary and same high school. So if there's chickenpox, you know about it pretty early on, right? And it came out that chickenpox was in the school and that we need to be prepared, yada yada. What's up, yo? Hey, Jasus, J Squad, it's nice having you here. Look at us. I did say I'm gonna be here again the next day, didn't I? Here we are, sending you a blessing. What's up with you? We're talking about bodies today. And we had one friend tell us that he has chickenpox. So I knew as a kid, right? Like, okay, there's chickenpox happening. And then the kids that would get chickenpox would suddenly no longer be coming to school, right? They got to stay home. Yam Yam's number one. Hey, friendly friends. You with your beautiful smiles. Hey, Joe. It's nice having you. I love you. And then, I would see these kids come to school, they got chicken pox, and then they got like a whole week off, right? And I'd be like, I want, I want a week off too, right? Can't I get chicken pox? Damn it. Somebody give me a chicken pox. And then I did get chicken pox. Literally, I want to say like the day of, like the last day of school before it was like vacation. And then I have chicken pox the entire vacation. Right. And I was so peeved. I hated chicken pox for what it's worth. I remember literally crying because you're directed not to scratch yourself. I do think I have like a spot. I did like scratch my forehead. There it is. Yeah, that spot right there. You see it? That's like my chicken pox spot. So I like, without thinking, I like scratched my face and then I got a permanent scar. But my mom was like pedantic, like you're not allowed to scratch yourself because if you scratch yourself, you'll get permanent scars, yada yada yadis, right? So I was like suffering and crying, like literally feeling this surreal urge to scratch myself, but not being able to, right? It's feeling like I'm in a straitjacket kind of vibes. But the part that was most upsetting to me is that I got chicken pox during vacation and that I didn't get to stay home from school. I don't know why, but this dog, I think he's too big for my lap, so it's just uncomfortable to have him on my lap. You silly creature, you squeezy, squeezy, you squeezy, squeeze, squeezy, squeeze. Not deterred, not deterred at all. Nope. Bye bye now. I'm going to leave. I'm going to come back soon. Sending you blessings, burger. Melt, how is it that we have chicken pox scar in the same place too? Something, same person, something. Yeah, it could have been worse. Could have been worse, right? Like I don't notice my chicken pox scar much, at least, and I didn't notice yours when you were here, for what it's worth. So, love is true. Today's dream topic is about bodies, right? And that's just another thing. Like even as a kid, I had to be mindful of my body. I had to be mindful of not getting permanently scarred, right? And at some point, people didn't know, right? So they would just scratch themselves and be left like the moon, let's say. I'm gonna have one on my forehead too. It's okay, Gaming Quest, right? People won't love you any less for it. Know that part at least. Smelt, who is the Baba-bult achter? Ik weet niet wat dat betekent. Like, I know you're using some translator, but it's translating poorly, so you're just confusing me. I know that you're trying to like relate to me with the whole speaking my language, but the translation comes through confusing. Is that a palm tree back there? I think it's cold. Have I forgotten? I have. I'm not sure. It's not exactly a palm tree. What do you call those? One of our botanist friends, if you know, let us know what those are. Yeah, let me see if I can gain some perspective. Today, me and my friends are discussing bodies and the fact that we are one. The fact that this body that we're in has a bunch of conditions, like we have to eat food and drink water, we have to sleep, we have to wash ourselves and brush our teeth. And then there's also the ability for us to get sick, for us to be attacked by some sort of virus, like, for instance, one of the friends were mentioning that they have chicken pox. I remember when I had chicken pox as well, and how my mom was very adamant about me not scratching myself because I would give myself permanent scars. And then, through error, through a moment of weakness, I like scratched my forehead, and I still have the scar to this day. Right? Like, it's on my body. It's like proof on my body of those moments that I had. And then I have sustained an insect bite that has been uncomfortable, to say it in so many words, right? And that is kind of like the inspiration for today's stream, the fact that we are these bodies, right? That I exist as a physical thing in this world, and this physical world can affect me, right? Insects can bite me. Viruses can infect my body. I can get hit by a truck. It's sometimes rough, like it's straight up rough for me to be a physical form. Maybe you can share some wisdom from the olden times about what it's like, why it's like to be a person. Give us some wisdom to chew on. Yes, you have to be from South Africa to speak our language. Yeah, it's making me big cringe, to be completely honest. I don't think I'm going to read the messages, dear friend. Ja, dit is maat. Weet nie hoekom die smelt na smelt vertaal nie. I'm gonna stop reading your messages, friend, because again, right, it's one thing. Like this is an English channel technically, right? Most of the people in the world are English speaking, and when I read the comments, I'm like reading English comments so that the audience, you friends, can be kind of like in on what it is we're discussing. And very few people on planet Earth even can speak Afrikaans, so you're not helping, right? I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm gonna stop reading the comments. All right. English is appreciated. Here's a gathering of voices from across the ages speaking to our shared reality of being a body in a world that can buffet. Buffet. I did not consider it being called a buffet. Yeah, itch, scar, and surprise us, yet also invite us into deeper wisdom and love. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength, Marcus Aurelius said. I think it's going a little bit too hard. You know what? Fine. I'll appreciate it. Hey, John. What's up, Melty and friends? Hope you're all blessed. Showing up, bro. I'm having a hard time being a body today. But I'm sure I'm going to recover. I have an ice pack on myself. Look like I have Giga Love Handle right here. And I'm sure this ice pack is gonna do me a good. The fact that I can't feel it properly is kind of interesting. Bait them insectoids, bite them insectoids back, bro. I want to like freaking bazooka those insectoids. Like Afrikaans, like I don't understand what you're saying, honest. Like I keep telling you, I know you're translating your messages to Afrikaans, but there's something wrong with the translation in the meanwhile because like I don't understand what you're saying, right? So on top of the fact that I'm not gonna read them, even if I did, I wouldn't understand them. Like that happened yesterday too. Like the powder you fed the baby bird. Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. Beoordeel my vertaler vanaf 10 skaal. That's not how Afrikaans, that's not how people talk. You have power over your mind, not outside events. It's true. Yeah, realize this and you will find strength. The reflection is the Stoics remind us that while our bodies and the circumstances around us are subject to forces beyond our control, viruses, insect bites, scars, even trucks, we retain sovereignty over how we meet them. Every itch resisted, every breath anchored in calm presence is an exercise of inner strength. Our scars then become medals of our mindful responses. Yeah. A part of me is like having a hard time absorbing this wisdom. It's wisdom. I'm like acknowledging that it's true. And I love Marcus Aurelius so much. But I like it's one of those things where like I don't know if it's helping. It is helping me. Let's see. Gautama Buddha. All conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. Yeah, this too shall pass, as a mindfulness, right? This too shall pass. Maybe I'll have to go to the doctor. Maybe he'll prescribe me some medicine. Maybe I'll get a cool new scar with a hole in myself. Trucks are unfortunately super effective against fleshy humans, unfortunately. Yeah, that is true. Illness, injury, sleep, and hunger, these are the conditions that mark our embodiment. They rise and pass like waves on the ocean's surface, recognizing their impermanence doesn't diminish their impact. It simply frees us from adding panic to pain. Yeah, you know what? Right now, I'm like vibing with good old Buddha. Yeah, Buddha knows what's up, yo. Yasi, it's true, Buddha. And another mosquito found me as well, of course. You know, why not? Suddenly I get more rigid. Hey, so what's up, Melt? Annoyed by little Afrikaans? Did it really not translate too well, though? No, not at all, right? The way it translated is that you were like stuck in the 1900s and you were trying to speak very, very proper Afrikaans. And again, all right, most of the friends over the world don't speak Afrikaans. I think there's something like 11 million people on planet Earth that speak Afrikaans. Let me fact check myself. What is the entire global Afrikaans speaking population? As of 2024, okay, 23 to 25 million people. What percentage is that of the global? I should have probably said all people. Yeah, that means 0.31%, right? So by speaking Afrikaans in the space, we're isolating the other 99.779%, no, 69% of people. So that alone is reason enough to not this dog being on my arm. I love you, but you are so uncomfortable. Part of me wants to cause him some discomfort, so he's like, "Oh, I don't like this anymore," but he doesn't care. Like I'm squeeze. He's like, "Yeah, and I see no problem with this. You're too big for my lap, dude. There you go. Yeah, lay sideways. That's better, right? Let's see if we can get back to the body insights. I think I missed what John said. At the very least, the souls remain intact. The true self can't be damaged, even when it feels like it from an emotional perspective. Our souls can only grow, learn, and evolve. It's true. The thing that I feel like I'm being called to grow, learn, and evolve from is just the fact that it's gonna be hard, you know. I feel like that's what the universe keeps trying to like tell me, and I'm not for it. I'm like, even some Afrikaans countries don't speak Afrikaans right. Yeah, just Somalia has Arabic as a language. And check about Urdu. Check how many people speak Urdu. You play any sports though? Nope. Sports were never my thing. Like we're not really talking about languages today, but sure. What percentage of the world population speaks Urdu? I did get it right. Searching. Yeah, so 10x, 3%, 2.84%. So there's 10x more people that speak your language that speak mine. So like literally we would be better off speaking Urdu in this channel than Afrikaans. How do you keep fit? I'm a yoga teacher. I do yoga every day, literally every day. I haven't missed a day, technically speaking, in the last 4 years. So I'm relatively fit, right? I'm No longer as overweight as I used to be. And I've been doing keto. So I'm like down 15 pounds in like the last 4 weeks as well. So that also helps. Sorry, diet almost does more for you than exercise would. I believe at least. Yeah. Illness, injury, sleep, hunger. These are the conditions that mark our embodiment. They rise and pass like waves on the ocean's surface. Recognizing their impermanence doesn't diminish their impact. It simply frees up. It simply frees us from adding panic to the pain. In that space, even a chickenpox scar is a teacher in non-clinging and compassion for oneself. Let's continue. The body is a vessel, the spirit its captain. Traditional yoga aphorism. In the yoga tradition, we see the body as our vehicle for evolution. Washing, brushing, sleeping, nourishing, all are sacred rites of care that keep the vessel seaworthy. When you tend to your body with reverence, you honor the spirit's journey through time and transformation. Are you annoyed? You are annoyed, aren't you? Like I told you directly how I feel, and then you don't listen. All right. So it's not a matter of like being annoyed. It's just a matter of you're starting to push buttons that makes me want to start pushing buttons. Right. But the buttons I get to push make your comments disappear. Your yoga lessons are from? I should know this answer, right? Technically, but I'm not a good student when it comes to what do you say, dogma. I'll let you know though. I teach at the Soul of Yoga. And there it is, in Encinitas. If you click on the Soul of Yoga, I can do online yoga. Online yoga, there we go. And then right here, I think, oh, it's because this day is already over. I'll have to go to tomorrow. Then right here, loading. I should be up top there. Am I? Yeah. Online Hatha 30-minute practice, MeltMore. So every day I do one of these classes. Let's see if the information you were requesting is here. It is not. Alas, it is not here. Well, yeah, I tried. You saw me try to give you the full deets. Weirdly enough, Jovan probably knows better than me. She'll be able to let you know. I do technically teach a class that comes from a lineage, and my teacher, Brother Ryan, who is the owner of the Soul of Yoga, taught me, and now I'm teaching that class. But I feel bad in not knowing who the original teacher was. It's also a hard name. I feel like if his name was Ryan, I probably would have an easier time with it, but it's not. It's not just Ryan. It's like Ramashwami, something like that. It's a hard name as well. Meltmore, actually, I'm playing with you. Just what friends do. I feel you, friend. Thank you. Thank you for the love. Fairy edit. Ah, yes, getting used. Ah, there we go. We're talking about TKV Deshkashar. Thank you. Jovan. I did say Jovan would know, right? Jovan, I love you. Thank you for that. Yeah, TKV Deshkashar. That's who is the original teacher of my practice. He's the one who brought that practice to America. I'd suggest you keep scrolling. No. Justice is fine. You found us yesterday. Can you sing songs? I think all of us can sing songs. I don't like it though. I have like some trauma with song singing in my past as well, unfortunately. I at one point wanted to sing, right? It was actually like one of my things. When I was an 8-year old, I competed in our local like school's singing competition, and I came first, right? I sang a song, a Christian song, that's about a wildsbok. Soos 'n wildsbok wat smag. So smag ek na u. You know? And then I went through this whole process of winning the competition, and then our school had like a, what do you call it? A display of talent, I guess, where every person who came first in the entire school had to actually perform their song in front of the rest of the kids. And it was at this point that load shedding started kicking in. So there was mics and there was speakers, and it's a whole hall, filled with like 600 kids. And it was this experience of like everybody gets to sing using the microphones. And then around the time that it was my turn, load shedding, right? So there's no electricity in the school. And I'm called to the front of the hall, and I am standing in front of 700 children, and I start singing, right? As an 8-year-old. And as I'm singing, I can still see her maw, let's call it, right, of this teacher. Nobody liked her. I want to dox her too, but let's leave her name out of it. And she would like yell at me from the sidelines, "Sing louder! Nobody can hear you, sing louder!" So I pushed myself to the point where my voice fell apart, right? And I went completely tone deaf, or yes, all right, voice cracky. And then the entire school started laughing at me. And then I walked off the stage. And then from that day on forward, I was called wildsbok in my school. People made fun of me for that embarrassment in my life. Pretty much my entire primary school career, right? Being a body, I was the person who was the receiver of all of that bullshit. Yes, I fucking hated kids. I still, I don't hate them. But I had this deep pit of rage in me, right? Like I was already an unpopular kid, and this just gave them something to make fun of me for. So they did, right? And I still knew, at least, that I was significantly more intelligent than them, right? So they would make fun of them. They would make fun of me, and then I would make fun of their intelligence because they couldn't come up with anything more interesting than making fun of me for something I did as a kid. And then I went through that whole experience, and it was like a pretty deep point of trauma in my life. And 5 years passed, and I wasn't supposed to. There was basically another competition. This time around, it was a competition that would be the lead up to like some sort of TV competition. In other words, hey Zawad, it's nice having you here. You would basically show up and then compete against your local group, right, which was our school. And then people would like be able to vote on their cell phones if you actually won. And I was like, well, hey, mindset, it's nice having you here. I was like, well, I was traumatized as a child for the whole singing fractal. This is as good a time for me to like reclaim that whole experience, right? To be like, this won't shape me. I won't be shaped by this. So I decided to, how you say, apply. Yeah. And I chose a song because I think we had to sing Christian songs again. And I, at that point, was no longer a Christian, right? So, one, I wasn't listening to Christian music. And two, I didn't know any Christian songs, right, in that way. but a song was chosen, and I was unfamiliar with it, and I did not know the words in so many words, right? So again, I went to the front of the stage. The backtrack started playing. I started singing, and at some point, I got stuck, not knowing what the next line was, and the wheels came falling off. I was like, and I gave up. I walked off the stage, and guess what? I guess what? More ridicule. Fuck. So yeah, those two instances in my life showed me that singing is probably not for me. Right? I'm not here to be a singer. But thank you for asking, Skillforge. Gonna leave you alone today. See ya. Brotherly love to you. Bless you. I will come back though. You're always welcome, friend. You're always welcome. But if you're going to be sending messages on Afrikaans, I'll just not reply. My bad for getting triggered too. I too understand Afrikaans. It's true. Yeah, he also understands Afrikaans. Like the odds, like one of the people that actually would understand Afrikaans is actually here. Mm-hmm. All right then. Take care, mate. Meltmore. Sinjovir. Love you, dear friend. Thank you for joining us. You sang really beautifully and expressively when we jammed and chilled. Yeah, okay, I don't think there's anything wrong. Hi from Canada. Hey, Jack Nickerson. This is South Africa. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. Sending blessings to Canada too. I don't think I'm a bad singer. I do believe that I speak in a kind of musical way as well. It's just a matter of like performance anxiety, I think, almost. Right? Like when you're singing a song, right? And the song has lyrics, and you're supposed to know the lyrics if you're gonna sing this song. And I am not good at that fractal, right? My mind doesn't process information like that. My mind processes information almost like in a fractal manner, where for a conversational live stream, I'm really good at that because I can continue fractaling into the next thing, into the next thing, into the next thing, into the next thing. Where with a song, you're supposed to follow a very linear kind of thought progression. And I'm just not good at that. It's not my thing. Like count go up. It's true. Thank you, friends, for liking this stream, for subscribing, for adding your beautiful presence to this space. It makes such a big difference just having you here. Love is true. I appreciate you. I wonder, Melt, do you think that all you went through maybe drew you more towards music with less singing in it? Like finding your love for Cytrons, Silver Lining. I loved music a lot at that point in my life, right? When I went to go sing, I was already listening to like Sum 41, right? Which is like punk rock, I hate the world, fuck everybody kind of music. And in that way, I was like really into it. And that's the first thing that I wanted to sing. I wanted to sing Hell Song, right? Almost started singing that too. The Hell Song, right? And like just the thumbnail as well. Yeah. Does this look infected? This is how the album cover looked like. So horrible, right? And the song was called The Hell Song. Everybody's got their problems. Everybody says the same thing to you. Just a matter how you solve them. And knowing how to change the things you've been through. Yeah! I love that song. I still do, right? But they were like, nah, you cannot sing something like that at school, bro. Like, no. So I had to sing some stuff that I didn't care about. That song, that Hell Song, came out when I was a 4-year-old. How about that for a fractal? Yeah. But it was definitely an experience. And like music has always been a part of my essence. I went to high school still very much into like kind of like punk rock music. I listened a lot more to like 3 Days Grace and My Chemical Romance. Silverstein and Bullet for My Valentine and Fall Out Boy. Yes, I love Fall Out Boy so much. Right. And at that point in my life, I believed that if people aren't using their voices and their hands to operate instruments, it's not real music. So I had like a disdain for electronic music. Hey, Hendrik! It's nice having you here, friend. Sending you blessings. What a blessing to have you. We're talking today about bodies, and we've gotten into the whole fractal of music a little bit. Guten Tag, wie geht's? I don't know if I said that last part correctly. But yeah, it definitely I had like a love for music my whole life. And then I made some friends later in life when I was 20 that kind of introduced me to the world of psytrance. And again, right, like the electronic music that I was exposed to was like the David Guetta uh, kind of vibes, right? Like commercialized electronic music in a way where I was like, yeah, this feels very commercial, right? Feels very sterilized. And then I found myself in this scene, right? And they had psychedelic trance, which was electronic music, but it had that same element of progression and had that same element of novelty generation that all of my Neelix, yeah. I used to listen to Neelix as well. But Neelix is a little bit more like he's not that into prog, right? In that way. Have a blessed day, stranger. Thank you, friend. That's so nice of you. I hope you have a beautiful one too. Yeah. And like it was about dancing, right? I never danced when I was listening to punk rock music. At least I didn't think so. I used to perform, I used to sing to the cows. Where you got the shirt from, I don't know, to be completely honest. My mom got it for me. J Leo, this guy tells you the guy she tells you not to worry about, J Leo. Fortunately, this guy is engaged. So, all right. You actually don't have to worry about me. But I appreciate that love. That's so nice, Jay. How are you doing? Where are you finding yourself? We're having this whole conversation today. Adam Morningstar, is your dog high? He does look high, huh? He has like goopiness. You're engaged, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, actually. Yeah. So it's fine. You don't have to worry about me, friend. I saw Neelix live 4 times, and I once saw him backstage. Love this guy. That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen Mandragora live, and I've seen Aura Vortex live as well. Where's your missus? Uh, Not that far up in chat, but she might be here right now. It is Wednesday, so she's probably in the office right now, listening on the sidelines. I can feel her blushing a little bit. There she, you see her. The meditation app quote of the day is emotions arise at the place where the mind and the body meet. It is the body's reaction to mind. Eckhart Tolle, yeah, Eckhart Tolle is a G. He's very wise. Thank you, Joe, for echoing that sentiment. I am definitely very aware of my physical form as of late. Being a body. Is it weird to you too? I find it pretty strange. I've been here for going on 26 years and 358 days, and I'm still not used to it. This guy, the guy she tells you not to worry about. Uh, that's comical. Decent. Kind of stressed though. Exit a cell. About to start their exams in 2 days. Bless you, friend. Good luck with your exams. You got this. Keep studying slowly but surely. I think I missed some comments above. What would you think about the Indian versus Pakistan war? Who wins? Nobody, unfortunately. Nobody wins. People die. Worlds are destroyed. Infrastructure is turned to rubble. Bodies turned to bits. Nobody wins. Who will walk away with less damage? Probably India, just because they are super massive and they're technically also a global superpower when it comes to the amount of wealth they have access to. Both of them have nukes, so again, nobody wins, unfortunately. Yeah, honestly, India will win. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Hey man, checking in, recommended you to another streamer. Van Life Astro. That sounds cool. Tropic of Neptune. I don't know if you're still here. Your message has been sent a while ago, but I do appreciate your love. You echoing to other friends this space as well. All right. You got those. Sure. Good morning. Bless you, Jay. Hendrik, not gonna lie, at this point, my best friend has more faith in me than I have gotten myself. It's good to have friends like that. You're lucky. Cherish them. Don't give up on the people that don't give up on you. That's some Yuhan wisdom. Engaged? He's passed out. He's like very sleepers. And he also doesn't want to like leave me be. Like if I put him down on the grass, he's gonna like come and sit back. Like he doesn't catch the hint that I'm like actually uncomfortable. Like I am actually uncomfortable. Like I don't like this, technically speaking. It's kind of cute, right? But it's kind of like cute for like a moment, and then it's heat and like lack of mobility, right? As an awareness that I have. He's like on top of my body. We are talking about bodies today, right? The fact that he wants to put his body on top of mine, maybe I can see that as an honor. Sure. Passed out. I know that feeling's a what everybody does at some point, I guess. It's true. And you said arises, Sung Yu Wu came into my mind. I was at Tomorrowland in 2017. Saw a lot of people, a lot of them I didn't even know. That's the best part, right, about going to these festivals. Nancy and Dreamtooth. It's nice having you friends here. Nancy, sending you lovin's. Dreamtooth, you've been missed. Welcome back to our space. Why aren't you? Her name is Jobot Beepop. It's true. Why aren't you at work? Why am I not at work? Well, one, it is like technically 5 p.m. So even if I did have a job, this would be the time I would be done. And two, uh, no matter how many times I apply for work, people kind of don't give me any. I did actually, like, and there is another fractal starting up of me asking for work again, like yesterday. So I am kind of waiting to see if anything is going to come of that. Like 60% of people my age in my country are without work, unfortunately. So it's pretty hard for us to find work here. I'm very grateful that I have you friends and I've created this community and that my community supports my art so I can actually I'm not making a living, right? Where if I had to suddenly lose all of the support I have as a family, I would either have to not eat or I would have to not have a roof over my head. But at least there is some income coming in, right? Which I'm very grateful for. So arguably, the war has the chance to be a nightmare for everyone. War is a nightmare for everyone. War never leaves people better off, unfortunately, right? At least not from my recollection. War only leaves us with more trauma, more pain to resolve. Yeah, love is true. Joe loves you. I love you too. So arguably, the worst chance to be a nightmare. Jobat Bebop. We're putting some respect on that name over here. You better, right? I'm very protective. And I will take out the massive banhammer that I have in my backpack and absolutely come down with the might of a god on top of you. Is your dog a Chihuahua mix? No. He's a Jack Russell. I think he might have some beagle in him with that massive snootage of his. He's got like some snooto babuto. He is very lazy though. Bro became Thor. I actually do like the whole Thor fractal. When I came back from China, I wonder if I have any I'll show you this. I'll show you my old self videos, oldest. Yeah, you can look at that day 4 version of me. You see that day 4? You can see I was definitely significantly more weighted. And that was after I've already lost like 20 pounds. So I came back from China very overweight. And my family started calling me Fat Thor because at that point the whole fractal was popular. Hey, Marie, it's nice having you here. I'm just going around showing smaller creators love and kindness and respect. That's so nice. I can see you're verified. I think that's the first time I've seen someone in chat that actually has a verified badge. Super nice of you to join me on my stream. I've been doing these streams, like it's so interesting that you join us now as I was showing you the tablet. I've been doing these streams every single day for the last 1,588 days. So it feels kind of like full circle-y significant that you find yourself here, right? Like we've been pushing, right? And I don't plan on giving up ever. I am relentless. I will fight against the reality of giving up forever. Keep pushing, keep grinding, keep a positive mindset, and never lose focus on your goals. Let no one stop you, not even the haters. Just know I have been there and I got your back. I want to see your channel too, friend. A Marie. That's a nice name too. Let's see A Marie on YouTube. A Marie. Super cool. 206,000 subscribers. That's awesome. So nice to have you here, friend. Checking your channel out a little bit. Them games. We're so back. It's so nice to have you here, A. Sending you blessings, friend. Yeah, we're not stopping. We still got a lot to do, right? I have almost, with this space, created like a kind of uh, like video diary in my mind, right? Like this is, to me, and this is what I like to call my space, a conscious evolution. That we show up here every single day, and then we consciously evolve together. And it is kind of linked to this understanding that most of the evolution that we've experienced, and we are talking about bodies today, you know, as like our stream topic. Most of evolution has already happened to our body, right? Like most of the transformation we can expect is here right now, right? Like I'm not going to grow an extra finger anytime soon as a process of evolution, but I can grow my mental capacity to understand and to be more calm, be more gentle with myself and with those around me. And I believe that that is going to require of me what I call conscious evolution. And this stream is kind of what that's about, right? We show up every single day and we consciously evolve together, knowing that that is what we're here to do. War is young people fighting over old people arguments. No winners, exactly. So arguably, indeed, putting some respect, especially India, as they may face a three-front war. Coming from China's side as well. Yeah, who knows? Nobody here wants to see your big hammer. Why, Hendrik? Why? Why? My dog has Chihuahua Dachshund and some Terrier. Could be Jack Russell. He's called Chewini. That's cute. Blue butterflies. Yeah, this dude is called Kobe. He's like knocked out. Like he's like sleeping to the point of like looking dead. Like I'm not your friends asking, is your dog high? He has like must be some good sleep. Must be some nice. Ah, bro, get yourself a hammer and silver armor, and you can cosplay as Thor. Totally. I've wanted to. I've wanted to do cosplay as well. I just never got around to it. Were you teaching English in China? At one point in my life, yeah. I used to do that. It definitely was an experience. I was actually thinking about that a little bit recently, going through this whole rabbit hole in my mind of all of the parts of that experience that I didn't enjoy. I went to these temples, right? The temples were magnificent. The level of dedication, to creating awe-inspiring stuff. We don't have much of that here in South Africa, so I was like thinking about that and being like, yeah, that was kind of cool actually. Mary, you are in the perfect space. Love, kindness, and respect are highly recommended by everyone. Thank you, Hendrik, for echoing and for sending blessings to our new friend as well. I don't think they're here anymore. They're probably just going about, as she said, sharing love with all of the smaller creators. What's your opinion on body modification, like genetically modifying the DNA so that we can grow wings? Like I'm a little bit iffy on the whole genetically modifying ourselves so we can grow wings, but I'm not iffy on genetic modification in and of itself. I'm actually very pro because again, with this whole conscious evolution, a part of our consciousness, Jesus, and hey, Paul, it's nice having you here. Bro, what happened to your dog? You had me stressed. Oh, I had to like look for his breathing. He's still breathing. He's still breathing. I don't know. I don't know. I just think like he's like sleeping like a dead person. Can you stop pretending you're dead, please? You're concerning people. Yeah, right. So most of our evolution has happened already, and then again, right, we're now basically in this age where, with AI and quantum computing and our understanding of CRISPR technology, we are going to start manipulating our DNA as a species. And I am pro manipulating our DNA, especially if it's something that helps us, right? For instance, my family has a history of Alzheimer's. So the odds of me developing Alzheimer's are significantly higher. And as we develop better and better technology, we're going to start figuring out how to diagnose these things, not only through like taking scans of the brain and being like, oh yeah, look at all of this neurodegeneration, but we're also going to be able to diagnose these things by taking DNA samples and then sequencing that DNA sample and then finding within our DNA all of the places in which we might have switched on DNA pairs that doesn't want to be switched on, or methyl groups that are activating DNA pairs that we actually want deactivated. And then we are going to have gene therapies where we can either methylate our DNA, which I believe is going to be the path we're going to take. So we don't actually have to like literally edit our actual DNA. We'll just edit a methyl group, which basically means you attach like you methylize, right, the outside of your DNA sequence. It literally clips on to like the spiral goes and then it clips on to the outside of it. And then as it clips on, it can switch on or switch off certain gene pairs. So in that way, right, if I can like edit my genes so that I'm less likely to develop Alzheimer's, sign me up 100%. I'm also definitely going to edit my genes to upregulate my brain-derived neurotropic factor and to like knock out, for instance, myostatin. Myostatin is the hormone your body produces to let you know, stop producing muscle, right? Stop it. And I don't want it to do that. Stop it. Stop saying for me to stop it. You forgot about the money needed. It's true, RJ Singh. It's true. It is probably going to be expensive at first. But again, the way this technology works is that it is scalable, right? It is kind of like technology in the way that it's scaled in our reality, right? It's technology in the way the cell phone is. For instance, if we're going to think about humanoid robots that will show up in our world as well, the ability to scale humanoid robots is a little bit harder because you need to have, hey, Eric, bless you, friend. You have to have advanced AI, and then you have to have advanced compute, and then you have to have advanced actuators, and then you have to be able to have advanced engineering that kind of like brings all of those components together, and then you have to have advanced manufacturing, and you have to have significant funding to be able to like output those machines at a reasonable rate. Where we've already developed all of those advances as it relates to our gene sequencing, as it relates to our CRISPR editing techniques. So when this technology really kind of matures, it's going to be as simple as publishing it online, right? It's going to be as simple as downloading, right? It's going to be as simple as you sequence your DNA and a computer, a smart machine is going to analyze your sequence and be like, yeah, there's something wrong here, there's something wrong there, there's something wrong here. And then you're going to literally take a pill and it's going to gene edit you. I subbed, you seem smart. Oh, thank you, RJ. Yeah, I'm pretending. I'm really convincing. I'll have you know. RJ, I appreciate it. Love is true. So many new friends here. Thank you for joining. If this is your first time, do subscribe. I do one of these streams every single day. We show up relentlessly, knowing that every single day is another day, right? I've kind of like come to this point where you can either be hopeless that we're in this churn of reality, or you can be like, what am I going to do today, right? And for me, doing something today is better than doing nothing today. And then at the end of my life, I'll be able to look back and be like, ah, we did something. Mia, thank you. I subscribe. You friends. It makes a difference, literally. You're making a difference in my life just by being here. I appreciate it. Let me see. What's your opinion? Okay, because evolution is enacting through generations, social behavior is actually an incredibly complex polygenic mutation. It's true. It is actually true. I'm trying to think in a way that my life has been affected by that, actually, right? How have I been polygenetically had my behavior? I think my obsession with information is one of them, right? I come from a family of engineers, and when I went to go and do my proficiency tests, they let me know that I'm supposed to study chemical engineering. Uh, However, I didn't, because all of the family members that I have are all engineers, and I didn't particularly value that path. However, knowing that I'm supposed to be a smart person or whatever, an educated person, I still like to pursue knowledge, right? But unfortunately, because of that behavior, we as a family don't always tend to get along very well because we're all supposed to be these smart people. And then if you're uh, privy to information the other person is not, there is this whole ego battle that ends up happening. And I feel like that's one of the mutations my family has experienced that's not necessarily beneficial. Behavior has a learned component and isn't a complete heritable trait. However, all behavior has a genetic bias basis. It's true. Yeah. So much love in chat. Alzheimer propensity can be diagnosed through genetic testing. It's true. I haven't had any genetic testing done just yet. I would like to. I think 23andMe is getting close though, right? So that probably won't be the way I do it. If I go and get genetic testing done, I would love to go and do it at like Charles Hoskinson's clinic in. There's too many states, yo. I can't remember which one it was, but they basically want to like help people with longevity, listening while doing homework. Bless you. Hey, Connor is here too. Hey, Connor. It's nice having you, friend. Sending you love. It's nice having you here with us. How are you doing? We're having conversations today about how wild and sometimes awkward it can be to be a body. You okay? You doing well? You love your body? I hope so. It's just expensive on a whole population scale. Right now, it is epigenetics, DNA methylation. Yeah. Epigenetics. And like technically, you can affect your epigenetics with your mind. Name of the dog. His name is Kobe. 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 You can see those little ears wanting to move. Just moving enough so that he can show you that he is in fact listening, but not moving enough that he's going to pay attention. Mm, histone modification also. I don't know histone modifications. For me, on my short list is basically myostatin. Like I want to get rid of my myostatin, or at the very least, upregulate the amount of foliostatin that my body produces. But other than that, I'm still kind of like feeling my way out. Let bro sleep. He's been sleeping. It's just like we've been here for an hour. He's just like knocked out. Uh, how is Smokeless May going so far? You notice any major differences? I notice that I become even more clear. I become even more aware of certain things. And unfortunately, that awareness of certain things isn't always good. Like I can get very spirally, to say it in so many words, right? Unfortunately, right now, my country and the world is going through a chapter of growth, let's say, right? But as we grow, there can be some growing pains. And the awareness that comes with being completely sober makes me very aware of the pain I'm experiencing, right? And the pain that's experienced by my fellow people as well. And in that way, I don't necessarily appreciate it that much. I'm doing okay. Got fired. So I'm back to the unemployment grind. I'm so sorry to hear that, Connor. At least you got that, degree of yours. That helps. I'm sure you'll find new work soon. Sending you blessings and love. And I hope that you are staying gentle with yourself and not beating yourself up for not having a job right now. I sure know that I can. I appreciate it, RJ. And yeah, it's the smartest German South African I know. Kappa, aw, you friends. That's nice of you to say. I can doubt that part of me too sometimes, right? It's very easy for you to convince yourself. Like, I feel like it's the whole Dunning-Kruger effect, right? I feel like I feel like I'm in the trough. I'm like in that trough, like deep in that trough. At least after the Dunning-Kruger peak. And to the friends who don't know what I'm talking about, the Dunning-Kruger effect is like an X and a Y axis, right? And then it's like how much you know below here, how much you actually know down here, and how much you think you know on here, right? And it goes, yup, and then it falls off, and then it gradually climbs again, right? So if you actually know nothing, then you're like, I know nothing. If you know a little bit, the level of how much you think you know spikes rapidly. And then you think you're like the hot shit, you know so much. And then the more you start actually knowing, the more you realize, actually, you don't know anything, right? And I'm like here in this trough. And I'm like, I don't know, Jack. I'm still learning. I'm still a kid in so many ways. And I do look forward to growing, right? Learning more, augmenting myself technologically eventually as well. I don't feel smart enough. I think that's the problem sometimes. I don't think body gene editing can occur past fetal stages. We've already proven that it can be, fortunately, dear Paul. People are being cured of blindness. People are getting sickle cell cured, right? Like let me just read you those two little study facts. Can you tell us about the people who have had their blindness cured and people who have had their sickle cell anemia cured by gene editing?
Well, I can't provide specific names.
Yeah, you can't provide specific names or personal details, obviously, but gene editing for blindness. So, promising early results. Clinical trials using CRISPR gene editing have shown promising results in improving vision for individuals with inherited blindness, right? So they're like blind from birth and they're having their eyes healed by CRISPR gene editing, targeted gene mutations. CRISPR-Cas9 technology is used to target and correct specific gene mutations responsible for certain forms of inherited retinal diseases. So there's that one. And it's working, right? People that can't see suddenly are starting to again after getting this gene edit, right? That's happening. And then the other one is sickle cell anemia. This one is the first FDA approved one. The first FDA approved therapy. In December of 2023, the FDA approved Casgevy, the first cell-based gene therapy in utilizing CRISPR-Cas9 for the treatment of sickle cell disease in 12 patients. In patients 12 and older, right? So not babies anymore. In patients 12 and older with recurrent vaso-occlusive crises, modifying blood stem cells. This therapy involves modifying the patient's hematopoietic, which is blood, stem cells to correct the mutation in the HBB gene that causes sickle cell disease. So sickle cell is literally, right, you're supposed to have these little discs, and these little discs have these divots to create more surface area on them. And then their job is to transport oxygen throughout your body. And when you have sickle cell disease, instead of having little discs, you have these little bananas, basically, right? These little sickles. Like literally, that's what your blood cell looks like my curved finger, right? And when it's that shape, it's very poor at transporting oxygen throughout your body. And when cells in your body are oxygen starved, they release pain signals, right? It literally, it's like your entire body is on fire, like constantly screaming in pain, and there's no cure. And now, this is now officially FDA approved. Yasi, that's a long tongue. Officially FDA approved treatment where people are being healed. The first, don't lick me. Don't be licking me. Don't be, stop it. First CRISPR medicine. Casgevy marks the world's first approval of a medicine based on CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing technology. They're not giving us the statistics, but I think they had like something like a 95% success rate editing people's genes. And they get healed, right? Like imagine, you go through your whole life suffering extreme pain, literally debilitating pain. You get one gene edit, and then it goes away, right? That's fucking bonkers. That's so crazy. And that's just the start, right? This technology is going to take some time to mature, but I think we discovered the CRISPR-Cas9 kind of interaction in 2010, right? So it's still pretty recent. Only 15 years have passed. If you have to think about it from the perspective of like insulin, for example, insulin has been around for a long time, right? What's up? What's up, dude? Hmm? You want scritchums? You want some scritchums? I'm gonna use gene editing to go blind. Okay. Suit yourself, I guess. Let bro sleep. You getting hiccups? That seems uncomfortable. Oh, that doesn't seem nice. Oh, are you okay? Oh, oh, that seems bad. That's big hiccups. Oh, sorry, creature. Sorry. Stop licking me. Creature. Stop licking me. There you go. Oh, shame. And hiccup. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. But life is still good. Lots of friends and family to support. Good. Trying to stay positive with all of the whippity whoop. I feel you. Aristotle. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Yeah, that's the sign of true wisdom, right? I can give you a shortcut, Connor. Yeah. Paper teaches. Tapper teaches. Hi, buddy. Hey, friend. It's nice having you here. How are you doing? Today we showed up and had some conversations about being a body and all of the difficulties that come with it. Right? Like this little dude is a body, and he just went through like a fit of hiccups. And he's like pushing his teeth up against my pants right now. Like he's a strange one. Definitely pretty strange, this creature. But we love them. Don't you dare lick me. Licks me. No, stop. Stop that. I can like feel his intentions. I can know what he's gonna do. I'm gonna head out though. Stay classy, San Diego. Bless you, Connor. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to wrap it up. It's true. I'm gonna see if there's some more wisdom to extract. Yeah, Lao Tzu. We're gonna get some Lao Tzu wisdom as well. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Ooh, that is good, Lao Tzu. That is some good stuff. Tao Te Ching. Without context, my last message might be misunderstandable. I can give you a shortcut. No, I get it. I think I got it, right? Like you don't have to wait for gene editing to go blind. That's kind of the way I interpret it. Both of them made sense to me at least. All right. Reflection. Like the insect that bites without malice or the virus that simply follows its nature, the world unfolds at its own pace. We learn to flow with that pace rather than hammer against it. Hammer synchronicities. Ron Burgundy style. Love you, tuners. Nice. Isn't Ron Burgundy from Parks and Rec? I think one of my favorite TV. I stopped. One of my favorite TV characters. I really did like his mean ma. We learn to flow with the pace rather than hammering against it. In slowing down, uh-uh. In slowing down, feeling the itch, breathing into discomfort, we discover our alignment with the larger rhythm of life. Chew on this wisdom for today. I don't know why I would say it like that. I did probably say, give me something to chew on. I wouldn't be surprised. See the scar as a seal of survival. Your forehead's mark, we talked a little bit about chickenpox earlier, tells the story of care, of your mother's love, and your own journey through pain to heal. That's nice. Practice the pause. When your body protests, hunger, itch, fatigue, pause, breathe, and ask, what does this moment need from me? It's nice too. Embrace impermanence. Let each sensation teach you non-attachment. Pleasure. Can you not do that? Thank you. I can. I'm still learning. I'm still very learning. Tao Te Ching, Nordic confirmation, Thor sequel incoming. Sounds kind of hardcore. You know what? Can you give me an image of a Tao Te Ching Thor? Let's see if it's gonna get. I'm gonna just ask, give me an image instead of can you. This freaking dog wanting to lick itself. Can you not, please, please watch. Watch. He's gonna go and he does a stretch. I'll follow his example. And then he's probably gonna come and sit on my lap again. Okay, I think he did get the message this time. Yeah, it's making me an image. Let's see what a Tao Te Ching Thor looks like. It's doing its thing. It's gonna take some time. Lots of people are creating images right now, so this might take a bit. Is a mosquito looking for me? Happy that I have this scarf over myself. Okay, it's not a mosquito, it's just a little fly. Yeah, I don't know how long this thing's gonna take, but we have some messages left still. Embracing the impermanence. Yeah, let each sensation teach you non-attachment. Pleasure flows in and out like breath, and so does pain. Stand as captain and crew. Care for your vessel diligently, and guide your spirit by the compass of love. Always true, always forward pointing. You are more than the sum of your condition. Thor 5, Buddha's path. That's actually hilarious, Hendrik. I'd watch that. I like unironically watch that. Imagine, right? I'm imagining like Marvel makes something like that. I did get a new mosquito bite here too. Imagine Marvel does make something like that, but it's then like a whole fractal, like another multi-dimension kind of fractal where Thor finds himself in the presence of the Buddha or something, and then he has to, learn. He has to become Super Zen Mode 5000 before he actually is going to. He's back. Told you he was gonna come back eventually. He's putting his asshole against my tablet. Please stop doing that. Stop doing that! Yessie! Stop! I don't know why. I think it butchered my image. Did it? A useless Buddha becomes an avenger. I wouldn't like him to fight unless Buddha becomes an avenger. I mean, it would be kind of funny. Yeah, look at this. That's hardcore. We finally got stop. Freaking putting his nose up against me and smelling me. Like, don't. And like, it butchered the hammer hold, but I do like this style in general, right? Like, look at the way it's holding the hammer. Like, that's not how you hold a hammer, but yes, Tao Te Ching Thor. Kobe, stop. Yeah. Like, I'm already like, I am tismed, right? The sensitivity of being a body is very like particular for me. And then when you start like putting your snout up against me and like, starts losing mind. All right, like I'm gonna show you some art now. Yeah, it's time for you to witness flowers. I do like this one. Hell yeah, yeah, Hendrik. It's really a pleasure getting to share my art with someone that appreciates it, bro. Someone that gets it, all right? Someone that understands what this is, right? And the fact that you saw my art, like I showed you one of my pieces of art and you're like, huh, you have experience. Let's just say that, right? Many people don't in that way. And I believe many people are unwilling to gain that wisdom, to gain that experience as well. So I find I take a little bit of pride in being able to almost bring that hyper psychedelic state, to the physical world, to the digital world. He can give out wisdom and hammers. Exactly. Right. These little shapies up top here. That's kind of like what sold this particular one for me. Yeah. Feast your eyeballs on something pretty. Yeah. Walk away having seen more beautiful things. I'll read you a poem. It goes something like this. It's called Insider. Yesterday we had a whole conversation about sharing information, right? That comes from like this soul, it comes from the inside, and how we can feel disheartened sometimes when we're trying to share this inner information and it's not properly absorbed. So it goes, Insider. There is a world, not broadcast, but breathed, not hidden, but ignored. It lives in the quiet tremble beneath the thought, in the flicker before the word forms, in the place where knowing doesn't need explaining. Each of us, a vault of living data, a wellspring of insight coded in dreams, grief, laughter, touch. Insider information, not of markets, but of meaning. The ancients knew truth begins within, not in doctrine, but in discovery, not in conquest, but in contrast with what stirs beneath the noise. But this age moves fast, and the signal gets lost in the scroll, in the cell, in the shout. Still, those who listen can hear the pulse, and those who speak from the deep interior can ripple change, not by argument, but by offering, not to win, but to illuminate. To say, here is what I've seen, here is what I've learned, may it be of use, may it be a light for your next start, may it be a light for your next step in the dark. This is how the world turns, not just by power, but by people, sharing the sacred information they carry inside. Huzzah. I once spent 8 hours in the Rocket League main menu tripping balls, looking at my moving car design, at your creations. I could probably look for 12 hours straight. Like the cool thing about my works of art as well, and this is something that I've been told by my friends, is that they become alive in that state of mind, right? Like technically they're still images, and I do have, right? And let me show you this, Hendrik. Let me show you something, bro. You ready for this? Yeah, movies. Yeah. I can make these too, right? And then people ask me sometimes when they're in that, hyper aware state of mind, looking at my art, like, is this one moving? And I'm like, nah, this one's not moving technically. But it does feel like it. It is experientially something that almost like moves to the mind. Yeah, not to win, but to illuminate. That part is deep fire. Yeah. I feel like that's the problem as well these days, right, Hendrik? Is that people kind of like take it as like, oh, this guy's trying to win. I'm like, I'm not trying to win. Oh, I'm just trying to shine a little light on this thing that we're talking about. Like, this is something to be aware of. And it's like, no, no, I was already aware. Don't you dare tell me to be aware of something I was already. Oh, that's evil. The moving, yeah, extra psychedelic. I appreciate you, friends. Let me show you one more thing, actually, Hendrik. Remember, I told you that I started a business, right? So, in that business, I like making visuals for my clients, right? And one day, I basically just used my pieces. How long is it going to take me to find this video? Pain without love, pain can't get enough, bruh. 100 downloads, maybe? Quick share? Is it here? Yeah, it's here. There we go. So I've done stuff like this, right? Where I had two projectors pointing at the main stage, and then I faced out the inside of those ears. I faced out the face and the eyes, and then I put my media inside those pieces. I feel like it's a little bit overblown, but you can probably still see it. This was the very first festival that I ever got to do. And then I'll show you a little bit later these two, right? Little projector creating, like, basically turning the world into my psychedelic canvas. Yeah, 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 yeah. But it is pretty hard to get people to pay me for it, at least here in South Africa. Like, I feel, people have gotten along without stuff like that. So suddenly being asked to pay for something like that doesn't really sit too well with most. That's cool. I'd love to have been there. Thank you, friend. I hope to bring experiences like that to you. Germany does have like a pretty vibrant music scene, so who knows? Maybe if I grow enough and I can become desirable, I will be able to come and do my work on that side too. Nah, it not moving is evil. Yeah, I mean, like again, it's a file size thing. The still images are 50 megs a piece, right? So can you explain the projection? Yeah. So I have a piece. I have like two pieces of software that I know how to use. One of them is called Heavy M. The other is called Resolume. So those previous works you saw were done with Heavy M. So what I do is I take a photo of the stage. And then on that photo, I basically, well, with that photo, I pull it into my software. And then on that photo, I literally draw out little shapy shapies, right? And then I can turn those little shapy shapies into masks or faces, right? And then I can put media into those faces. And then I have a literal projector, right? Like That last one that I showed you was like a little 4,000 lumen laser projector, pretty far off. And then that projector outputs basically the signal that my software tells it to. And then I can literally, by looking, bring all of those elements so that they can match perfectly on the spots that they're supposed to be. And I can input pretty much any media. I can play like YouTube videos technically on those faces if I want to as well, but I choose to use my art. I hope that was explanation enough. Revs, Jim Jones, and the Kool-Aid drinkers. Pretty insensitive name, but love is true. Sending you blessings, friend. I have love bubble tendencies. If I catch you skip-doodling out of stream, I'ma send you out with huggins, high fives, and good vibes. Tuners and contunes, you're loved too. Thank you, Joe, for echoing those loving sentiments. Very good. It is fun, right? I just want to do more. I want to do more of that work. I want to like actually own my own equipment too. That's like my big thing. It's meant to be ironic. No, I get it. That's why I wasn't being like, you should feel bad, person, for Mernani. That's why I said love is true, because I know it's ironic. It's just, yeah, like 900 people died. Love is truth. Love is true. That's why we care. Yeah, I used to be at like 30 raves or goas a year for 4 to 5 years straight. You see, like I don't think we have that many goas or raves here in South Africa. Maybe we do, if you like go all over South Africa to do it. But yeah, I would like to do more work. It's just a matter of getting there. And again, owning your own equipment helps a lot because people don't really want to hire you if you don't. I've noticed, right? As soon as I tell my client, we're gonna have to like rent out like laser projectors, they're like, no. How much is that gonna cost? I'm like, it's $5,000 a day. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. And I'm like, all right. Where I live now in Germany, there's not really a scene for that. But before I lived in Frankfurt, which has a very big scene. Yeah, different places have different stuff. I hope there is never another Jim Jones. Agreed. Yeah. It's good to be aware of these things, right? Like I'm just imagining the fractal of like selfishness, killing other people because you're reaching a point where your insecurities have mounted. Back in the 90s, so many freaking mosquitoes. Back in the 90s, I made chill zones for raves. That's awesome. Weirdly enough, one of the people that actually talked to me about doing my work also sets up chill zones at raves. He's actually one of my very close friends. He's really cool. Like the spaces he creates, when he's at a festival creating one of those chill zones, the festivals are just better, by him being there. And I know the same is true for you, friend. You also made a bunches of festivals better in the 90s. I'd make a TV pyramid out of 30 televisions. That's awesome. Jeez. I'd had like 20 couches and argon lasers. So you went full out. Why did you stop? Do you still do stuff like that? Do you still have connections? Hook me up. I know a Jimbo Jones who goes by Jim. Does that count? As long as he's not a cult leader, I guess it doesn't. I'll give it a second. I do. You still have connections? I'm kind of joking. I live in South Africa, right? So I feel like that's gonna be like the biggest bottleneck. It's probably gonna be hard for me to do work, even if you could find me some. But I do these streams every day. Do subscribe, dear friend. I'll be here again. I am getting close to the end of this stream today. Sounded kind of grim there for a second. I am getting close to the end of the stream today. So I'll finish this one and I'll join you friends again tomorrow. Thank you for joining me, for sharing in this moment, for being present, being bodies, being somebody, right? Because you are somebody, I get to be me. And because we have created this experience together. The I do was about him doing it, I guess. Try projecting onto 12-foot vinyl blow-up ball hung up on a mirror ball motor. That would be cool. You could do that. You would need at least 3 projectors to make sure it's like covered from every side, but you could do that. Sounds pretty sick. I appreciate you, friends. One more time, I'll say goodbye. Thank you for joining me, sending your friends hugs, and I'll see you again soon, tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody, until we do it again. Goodbye.